Yo, what's going on? So today I want to tell you guys a story, right? And so I'm going to ask that y'all hopefully rock out with me and hear this tale to the end because I want to pose a question. And this is like my unfiltered thoughts, so I'm trying to just let y'all into my world a little bit, share how my brain, kind of processes and thinks about things. And so let's go ahead and get to it. I want to tell you guys a story about a guy that has never experienced love, right? And this guy, all his life, he's been, for lack of better terms, just a depressed, lonely guy, just a loser. You know what I mean? And that's just how he had been living his life. Well, this guy was a hopeless romantic. It's a bad combination. And this hopeless romantic loser, he meets this girl. And him and this girl, they get cool. And he starts to fall for this girl, right? But this girl is a user. This girl's a user. And this user, the best way to describe her is like she's like a blueprint for like a Black China type, for lack of better terms. If you keep up, you understand what that means. So this guy fell for her. As you could probably guess, you probably already killing me in the comments like, this dude's a simp. Oh, this dude's a simp. Yeah, he was. So this guy gets his red pill wake up call or whatever, forcefully. And he learns the hard way. So he gets a taste of this red pill. So he finally cuts this girl off. And almost immediately after that, he meets another girl, right? This guy meeting this other girl, she is everything that he's attracted to about women. She's like, she's laid back, she's chill, relaxed, like cool. They like similar things. They hang out. They got good vibe, good chemistry, right? It makes it real easy to forget about that other girl. So he goes and eventually what starts out as just fun, kicking it, evolves into this guy catching real feelings for this girl, right? But remember what I said earlier. This guy believes himself to be a loser. He believes himself to be a loser. So he's not a tall dude. He's out of shape. And he's really, for all lack of better terms, just a miserable dude. But he likes her. So she kind of brings out a better side of him, right? And this guy realizes that he wants this girl, right? He wants her, but he's never been in a relationship, never had any experience. And to be honest, this girl doesn't necessarily seem like she's interested in that. Like, maybe it's a good thing, but it's more like a go with the flow type of thing. He doesn't understand that because for anybody that knows or that understands people, you understand that there's a development phase. It's kind of like socialization. So like when you have to introduce puppies to people and other dogs at a young age so that they are able to like deal with them. Well, this guy has never been comfortable with women. He's not attracted to guys. He's not gay. He's just not comfortable with women because he likes women. But he was never really able to like develop strong bonds with females, right? So this guy goes on And he goes on and he's getting to know this girl. But the problem is he wants one particular thing from her. Absolute love and devotion. That's what he wants. And this girl, she's not really interested in that, but she still is around. And it gets to the point where she's interested. It's clear that the two of them have chemistry. But the problem is they can never get on the same page. Now, why can't they get on the same page? Because the guy is emotionally stunted. He's emotionally stunted, so he's not able to actually really be a fucking man, for lack of a better terms. And so, time check. So he wants this love and devotion and affection from this woman, but he's already not her typical type anyway. But the fact that he doesn't value himself, doesn't take care of himself, all those things compounded on the fact that he wants this devotion from her. But anybody that knows people, that he's not giving her anything to have faith in. So there's a disconnect there, and he doesn't understand the frustration. This frustration that he feels is because he's not able to get out of her what he wants when he knows that it's there. Because to him, she's special. He loves her. Doesn't know how to communicate that. Doesn't know how to express it. But he loves her. So, you know how things go. They have some on again, off again breaks. And it's just, things happen. And during a break, she gets a baby. Devastated. He's devastated. Supposed to be him. He realized this, but at the end of the day, he's like, it is what it is. And he gets over it. And he continues to try to reconnect like nothing happened. Because he loves her. But things don't really change. But to add compound to that, he's getting more out of shape. Now he done started growing dreads, so now he's going through an ugly dread phase. The guy is not taking care of himself. Not really doing anything. All they doing is just sitting, chilling, and smoking all the time. All they do, that's their thing, is just they sit and smoke weed and talk. But he loves her. He doesn't quite understand that the reason why a possible reason why he's not getting what he desired was because he wasn't giving anything. Why wasn't he giving anything? Well, technically, he's still not over the damage that old girl did to him. From the beginning of the story, he's not technically over that. So he's always built up a shell. He's always with a shell. He don't want to feel, don't want to express. Because he gave that girl everything he had and got nothing in return for it. Didn't want to feel that again. But he can't leave this girl alone. This girl, she different. She did what other girls wouldn't do. She allowed him to feel. Now, the guy, compounded with all this, the guy is sensitive and the girl is tough. She's tough. And he hates that for her. Because life be lifing sometimes. And he hates that. But he loves her. So the only way he can think to express that is just, just by just saying it. But there's nothing, he's not being a man about it. So through the frustrations, things happen. They take another break. This time, when he finally comes to his senses again, because that's how it'll go. Something will happen. Feelings will get hurt. They'll get mad, not talk to each other. Go back, come back, pick up where he left off. None never really like too bad. Like it wasn't never really like, like arguing or nothing like that. It was just, just, all right, you do you, I'm going to do you, I'm going to do me. And he can't reconnect with her no more because her numbers changed. 2 or 3 years passed. Finally is able to get back in contact with her. But during those 3 years, a lot happens, right? A lot can happen to a person in a couple of years. A person can have a mindset shift, because keep in mind, these people met when they were like 24, 25. They met when they were 24, 25. And he hadn't matured yet. Keep in mind, this guy probably has the emotional maturity of like somebody that's like a freshman or sophomore in high school. Never been in a relationship. Didn't start screwing until he was grown. And don't get it as much as he want. So this is the type of dude that we dealing with, that grew up, that is in the geek culture, and that is basically a social outcast that has social anxiety, and that never really felt like he belonged with anybody despite having great friends. So this is the guy that's meeting the girl of his dreams, right? Keep that in mind. This is the guy that views himself as a loser and doesn't take care of himself, doesn't value himself, and already has odds stacked against him in the dating pool as it goes anyway. But he's going to keep trying because he loves her. So he's finally able to get some kind of grip and some kind of vision for his life. He starts paying attention and evaluating. He starts changing what he consumes, changing what he participates in, changes what he puts out. He starts taking care of himself. He starts a journey of reinvention. He's trying to be a better person. He's trying to be a better man, and he's based off of the philosophy that I want to be a better man that is worthy for my children to be proud that I'm their father. I want to be a man that people can respect, and that's his mentality. He's thinking and working and trying to grind because, okay, well, I decided I want a family. So what's the best way to do a family? Well, I got to get married. Well, if I got to get married, then, I got to be making this amount of money, because if I'm making this amount of money, then, then I'll be able to take care of her, give her what he wants. Then she doesn't have to work. Then she can take care of the kids. And then, doing all that stuff. She doesn't have to work unless she wants to. Got to be clear about that. I'm just saying, this is what he's thinking about, because all of a sudden he hits 27, and then it's like, oh wow, I'm almost 30. Oh shit, I'm almost 40. Oh shit, I'm almost 50. And it's like, oh God. So now it's like, okay. I'm trying to fix everything now, because he didn't get it before. He didn't get it. Late bloomer. So guess what? No time to cry about it. Just gotta fix it. Gotta get this in order. Gotta do this. Do this. Clean my look up. Consuming content. Learning the suits. Learning ties. Doing all this. Getting dress shirt. Changing my wardrobe. Doing this is everything that's going through this kid's mind. So he's not a kid. He's trying to shed the shell of being a kid and hyperdrive. Then he realizes, well, okay, what do I value in life? Because now I'm doing all this work, but I'm still miserable. He's still miserable. doing all that work because he's lonely. So when you exhausted, when you doing everything you can, trying to scrap up every dollar that you can to improve your situation, and then you going home and you thinking and you by yourself, you don't have nobody to spend your time with, nobody to recharge your energy, nobody to give you a goddamn hug. Then you remember you had that person, but you can't get in contact with them. Starts driving you crazy. Starts driving you crazy. So the guy starts going crazy because he starts realizing and thinking about everything in perspective and realizing that no matter who he talks to, because he like, it's not like he doesn't meet girls. It's that he's always gonna be comparing them to that girl because he knows what she did for him. He knows what she did for him emotionally. And he realizes, why do I miss this girl? Any chick that he's ever dealt with, it's okay. Whatever. Screw you. But not her. Because he loves her. He loves her. Can't get in contact with her. Every number that he knew that she ever reached out from, he can't get in contact with her. Try social media, can't find her. They don't really have no mutual friends. They were kind of like, when they kicked it, they were in their own little world. Didn't go to the same school. Dude is messed up. He realizes that he lost the person that he cared the most about. And be honest with y'all, man, it hurts. That kind of stuff hurts. So he's thinking like, well, how do I do this? What do I do? Do I just pop up? No, can't do that. I'm not Joe. What do I do? I write a letter, just drop it in the mailbox. What do I do? How do I get the most important person in my life back? It's the only thing that he can think about. Besides the thought that he may never see the most important person in his life again. It's the only two thoughts that are on his mind. So he gets desperate and he starts praying. By some miraculous coincidence of the universe, whatever you believe, one day he just randomly checks and is able to find her on social media and gets the balls to reach out, humble himself, and in his mind, let's start a new chapter. That new chapter is that I am trying to become the best version of myself. And to be honest, from his perspective, this is his perspective. He thinks that because he's grown and he's matured, that he can fix everything that he wasn't. He can do things for her that he couldn't do before. Just try to make her life easier because he loves her. And as a man, isn't that what you're supposed to do when you genuinely love someone? Let's just have a real conversation. I mean, this is my scenario, so I get to frame it how I want to. Let's just talk. From his perspective, if I say I genuinely love you, I say I genuinely love you. I don't even know whether this is romantic love, whether I want to date you, whether I want to marry you, whether I just want you to be my best friend forever. He doesn't even understand what it means to love somebody. He's a logic-based person. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. It doesn't compute. It's just the very thought, having experienced it and studied the logic and the psychological mechanics of love, it doesn't make sense to him. But he loves her. So logic aside, he loves her. So he reaches out and is trying to reconnect with this person. Because I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that I'm better and that we are meant to be together. That's the only thing that he's focused on. Regardless of what that together is. I want you by my side, wherever we are. Because that's how it is when you really love someone, right? Intimacy aside, if you really love someone, right? So to his joy, she's a bit receptive. And they even get to reconnect a couple times and, hang out. But why am I telling this story? Because a lot can happen in 2 or 3 years, remember? A lot can happen in 2 or 3 years. Remember, during one break, there came a baby. But now, it's like, this guy who's just basically just dragging himself through life, just trying to be better. He sees this woman, his friend, his person that he loves, and he sees her, and she's going through it. Life is lifing, and life is not always nice. And see, people think that, like, when I'll use myself for example, when I say that being a single parent is stupid, I'm not saying it in the context of the person that is a single mother is inherently stupid. I'm saying that it's stupid in the same way that robbing a bank is stupid. Like, it's not productive to put yourself in that situation, right? Knowingly and on purpose. And I know people say that there's passion and all those things. I'm just saying that there's a responsible way to do things and there's an irresponsible way to do things. And it's only about the kids. It's about yourself too, because a lot of single parents are struggling. Let's just be honest. Not all, but a lot are struggling. I just don't understand why you would want to put yourself through that knowingly. But guess what? Contrary to popular belief, I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. I'm a medicine channel. I'm not a Band-Aid channel. I'm here for substance. I'm here to entertain you. Like, I genuinely hope that sometimes me going on these rants, I hope some of you get entertained by it. I know maybe not all, but I hope that you take value from hearing my perspective and how I feel about issues. And I hope that it, can stimulate thoughts within you. That's my point. I want to be thought-provoking. But I genuinely believe that It is a bad decision to become a single parent. And doing that means that you might have to sacrifice recklessly engaging in sexual activities. Because when you do that, you're tied to certain people. When you have a kid with somebody, you stuck with them. So why am I saying that? Because this guy who's trying to reconnect with this person that he loves has a life. And that life is just, it's her life. So no matter what he logically might believe, the things that he's now watching her really go through is killing him. And this guy, he's just trying to be there for her and help her and support her. Forget any toxic relationship because he loves her. And that's what you do when you love someone. You try to genuinely be or feel whatever void that they're missing. Because that's what she did for him. But why am I telling this story? Why am I telling this story? Because that guy that is trying to learn and forcefully learn how to be a man is now in a situation where he was basically involved and caught up in a situation where he was around when she had a conflict with her baby daddy. Now you know how those situations can go. But I want to have a conversation, not to dump on baby mamas today. That's not what I'm here. I want to talk about why he's in this situation. And if you made it this far, I really appreciate you because now we're really going to get into it. I'm going to talk about why he's in this situation, and it's not going to be the typical answer of what you think. It's not, like I said, to dump on baby mamas, and it's not some she set him up. It's not anything like this. It's because of him. It's because of him. So I want to pose a question to you. My question to you is, should men be held accountable? Listen to me very clearly. Should men be held accountable in a scenario where they meet the person that they could have a very happy life with? A woman who is exactly what they want. But because they aren't who they need to be, because they don't have themselves together, they fumble her. And when they fumble her, this exposes her to the other elements of life that she possibly may not have experienced it had you had your stuff together. Now, I'm not saying this to dump on men. I'm just going to be 100% clear, but I'm going to be real. This is not this is a right answer, or this is a thought. This is a thought. Should men be held accountable for not having their stuff together and the person that they were supposed to be with? Because let's really think about that. This is the person that you could have been happy with. But because you weren't ready and you didn't do what you needed to do, This person was exposed to other elements that she wouldn't have been exposed to. Had you been right, y'all could have been together and doing the things, and you wouldn't put her through what she's going through. You could at least shield her or help her or be there for her. Now, why am I saying that? Because I know I can hear people now. They'll say, "Oh, what are you saying? You blaming us for they decisions? Oh, you playing Captain Save-A-Ho?" No, that's not what I'm saying. People are accountable for their decisions. But what I'm saying is you can't blame a woman for not picking you if your shit isn't together. We're not talking about a situation where a woman passes over a good guy. We're talking about a situation where a good guy doesn't have his shit together, and therefore he isn't a good guy. He doesn't have it together. You're not a man worth marrying. You're not a man worth being a father. You're not a man that can be dependable. You're not a man that a woman feels safe with. But you want her love. You want her devotion. You want her to be committed to you. You want her to give everything to you. I'm just saying, that might be a little bit unreasonable. It might be. We always dump on women for their bad choices. And I get it. Single mothers, yeah, I get it. I get it. But what about the guy that she would have picked? Because there are women that are stupid for a lot of dudes. So what if the guy that she had picked had his shit together, and then guess what? They could have been at least tried to be happy. Better chance. We always talk about baby mamas not taking accountability for their actions. But think about it like this. Men. What is the very nature of men? Regardless of how you feel about it, men were designed as protectors and providers. This is a fact. So, regardless of what, we see it in nature all the time. The males have to prove themselves to the females. You can't just expect a female to mate with you just because you're there. And he didn't realize that. She's not going to just mate with you because you're there. Because you're a good guy. That's the red pill. That is the red pill. Just because you're a good guy and because you won't do what other people do doesn't mean that you're worth dealing with. And you can't be mad at her for not picking you. Or for not dealing with you or being patient with you. But that's not just the point. The point is, if you were who you were supposed to be, then maybe you could have protected her and shielded her from the world that will destroy her. Because that's your job as a man. I mean, let's just be real. That's the way it's designed. If you have the balls to say that you want a woman to be with you, that's saying that you're putting her under your covering. So if you're going to put a woman under your covering, you need to be able to provide and protect for her. That's not unreasonable. And just like being a wife shouldn't start, or just like women say that they won't cook for a man until they married. Just like cooking shouldn't start when you married. The wifely duties shouldn't start when you married. If you're going to be the man and you're going to be the man in her life, then that shouldn't start when you get married. Or that shouldn't start when just willy-nilly. It's not selective. Should men be held accountable for not being the guys that you're supposed to be, the men that you're supposed to be? Because I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards yes, because there's not enough people that are telling these guys, that are telling these young guys what to do. And when the guys are telling them what to do, everybody wants to pacify and shield them from it.
If there were more guys educating guys, like, and getting these young dudes to actually listen, and parents actually doing their job and instilling this stuff in their kids, then guess what? We could get guys to get their shit together younger so that they wouldn't keep fumbling these women and therefore exposing them to the elements. That's my point. If you were who you were supposed to be, and you were that guy, and your character is good, then guess what? It's gonna benefit for you in the long run. In the long run, you will win. But how can you expect to win when you weren't who you were supposed to be? And now you're trying to play catch up. You trying to play catch up, and you trying to get what you look for something that you had. You looking for something that you had, but you had it. And because you weren't ready to have it, and think about it. When are you ever ready? When are you ever really ready? But because we're doing people a disservice by feeding these disillusions and these cognitive lapse in reality that we're instilling in people, and we're not teaching them how to deal with each other. We're not teaching them how to actually be around, how to get to know people, how to vet people. You know, parents aren't involved in picking who their kids hook up with. Like, you talk about starting a family. But it's enough people that sit there and we talk about women need to make better choices. Yes, but also at the end of the day, there does come a time where we need to start holding certain people accountable for not being better. Yes, it's good that you get it, but how many people have to be sacrificed because of your decisions? Because that's what comes with being a man. Your choices affect people. The decisions you make, they surround or they impact other people. The people that are connected to you. As a man, that is just what comes with the territory. It's just what comes with the territory. As a man, you can't get away from that. The people that are connected to your life are impacted by your decisions, good or bad, and they are affected by the consequences of those decisions, good or bad. Now, don't get me wrong. This applies to both genders, both men and women. There are consequences of not being who you're supposed to be. Because also on the same token, it's a lot of women that go through things or that put dudes through things, and it's because they weren't mature enough. So it's not like just one specific accountability, but we're talking about men right now. Because guess what? By birth, men are expected to hold accountability. That's what separates being a good man versus a bad man. The things that you value, the things that you stand for, the way that you live, how you move, how you operate, how you treat people, the things that you contribute to society, how you live. Those are the things that separate being a good man versus being a bad man. You can't get around that. You can't get around that. That girl is sitting up arguing with her baby daddy, stressed out, going through life that she might not have had to go through if you were the person that you were supposed to be when she gave you the chance. We're not talking about average guys that got it together and that are getting looked over. We're talking about a guy that's below average that won't put in the work to at least be good enough. And expecting to get the same outcome as everybody else. Because that's the distinction. If you're not gonna compete, you're not gonna benefit from the dating market. You're not gonna benefit. But it's the fact that you're entitled enough to sit up and think that you actually are gonna get the same results. The same results. And have the nerve to be frustrated when you don't get them. Now, I really hope y'all understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that men are supposed to automatically have it all together. Most of us don't. I'm saying that at an earlier age, There needs to be some type of intervention for these dudes that don't have no direction. Men are supposed to strive for greatness. You're supposed to want to be the best you can be. You're supposed to want to make the most money you can make. You're supposed to want to protect your family. You're supposed to want to be great. You're supposed to. It's not a crime to want to be great. I want to be the best there ever was. You're supposed to strive for greatness. But sometimes, us men, we learn too late. We see it all the time. Men know that they met the woman of their dreams. The one they were supposed to be with. The one they were supposed to be married with. Based off of chemistry. Not some divine intervention. I mean, this is the person that you could spend the rest of your life with. You know it. But you didn't want to settle down. You didn't want to step up. You didn't want to do the things that you didn't do. You had trust issues. You had this, everything. But at the end of the day, that woman was a good woman. And now because you fumbled her, she's experienced life and some other dude has set up and destroyed her. That other dude has destroyed her and broken her down because you weren't who you were supposed to be. And because you weren't who you were supposed to be to protect her, she now is experiencing the harsh realities of life that now you can't do anything about. Now what? If that ain't a wake-up call, I don't know what is. If you see this, listen to me. Greatness is not a sin. Be the best you can be, and not just in profit, not just in money. Be a good fucking person. Learn. I'm not no preacher. I'm not preaching to y'all, but this is real. You need to strive to be the best that you can be so that if she leaves, it's not on you. Because if it's on you, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt knowing that you fumbled her. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt you seeing her be happy with somebody else, or it's gonna hurt you seeing her be hurt with somebody else. Either or. It's a lose-lose. Be great so that when you meet her, then at least be striving to be great. Then at least when you meet her, you can go and at least you can say you tried. You did everything you could do. You didn't even give it a chance. That was his problem. He didn't even give it a chance. Now that he's in a position to, she's got so much life to deal with. It's not the same. It's never going to be the same. But he loves her. It's easy. I'm just going to be honest. It's real easy to sit up and have these talking points. Let's just have a real conversation, right? Unfiltered perspectives. It is real easy to have these talking points. Oh, the single mama, oh, fuck them. It's on them. Oh, it's on them. Until it gets close to you. That's what I mean when I talk about integrity. Because this stuff is not easy, man. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not easy when there's a conflict between how you feel and what you want and what you desire versus what's right and what's logical. Because we all know that a logical outcome would be for him to just cut her off. Because what is he losing? But he's not going to do that because he loves her. But if he loves her, wouldn't he have protected her? Because his feelings haven't changed. He's always loved her. I told you, this is my scenario. I get to control it. I am Franklin Richards, the molecule man. This is my world, and I'm going to frame it how I want. He loves her. He's never not going to love her. He's made it up. He's made peace with it. He's made peace, said to himself, I love her, and at the end of the day, whatever comes with it, that it just is what it is. Because I want her by my side. Not necessarily romantic. I don't know what we are because, he has values of his own. He doesn't know. But at the end of the day, he knows that he loves her. But if he loved her, wouldn't he have protected her? Wouldn't he have risen up, put on his big boy britches, and become the man that he needed to be sooner in order to protect her? Because at the very least, if she was going to make bad decisions, she could have been making bad decisions with him where he's not going to hurt her. So now what is he supposed to do? Crash out? I'm genuinely asking a question. I don't have the answer. I know what I think. I know what I'm leaning towards. I still think it's a both party thing, but let's just be real. Men might have some accountability in the roles that in the past that some of these women go through. You look at Derrick Jackson's wife. Look at what he put her through. I thought that chick was going crazy for a second. She pulling herself together nice though. Salute to her. But I mean, let's just be real. Some of these dudes put women through stuff that is so egregious and they didn't have to do it. But the guy that she would have picked or that she could have picked, maybe potentially, because not all women are birds. Not all women are birds. There are some women that they just can't put up with you anymore. It's because of what you're not doing what you need to do. So, I mean, I'll be honest. I genuinely don't know. I don't know because what are you supposed to say? What are you supposed to do in that situation? How do you feel? Like, let me know in the comment section. Like, specifically, what are your thoughts on this scenario? Do you think he's dumb? Do you think he's at fault and he's accountable for her going down that path when she gave him opportunities? Do you think that he's dumb for even trying to talk to her, go back to her? Do you think that he's dumb for even wanting to deal with her? Do you think he's dumb for loving her? Do you think she's dumb for taking him back or even talking to him again? I mean, share your thoughts in the comment section. But I just don't know. I think that sometimes these situations in these relationships, there's different layers that might need to be unpeeled in them. Because one could make a case that if the woman was giving you chances to step up and be a man, for lack of a better terms, and you didn't take advantage of it because you in your own head or because you don't understand how the world works, but then you get it, she has the right to move on and live her life. But living her life can sometimes lead to bad decisions. And maybe if you were the light and the man that you were supposed to be, because we see it all the time, women are attracted and gravitate towards good men. Genuine women are gravitated and attracted towards good men. Now, whether they sleep with them or whether they deal with them or date with them, that's another thing. But even if she looks back and it don't work out and she looks back, she'll say, oh man, I had a good one. That was my fault. You don't want to be the reason why y'all didn't work out, is all I'm saying. I'm really starting to have like a lot of change in values as far as ideals and stuff. Like, I don't believe in cheating. It's just certain things I'm just not really for. And it's because of integrity. I don't think that dudes have to cheat. I also think that it's a little different when dudes cheat versus when women cheat. But I'm saying though, I don't think you have to do it. But I've also never been in a position where I've had women throwing themselves at me like that. So I'd like to believe that I have the integrity to stand firm. I've done it before. I don't know. This is kind of frustrating to me because it's like at some point we do have to be kind of real and think that, you know, there's certain things that, you know, it's just life, it's just meant to happen. But it's like certain things don't have to happen. And certain people don't have to go down the paths that they go down. But if you love and care about a person, why wouldn't you take accountability? Or why is it unreasonable for you to take accountability for knowing that you fumbled that person when they were giving you every opportunity? And it's just, you know, some people they never get to see that person again. Some people, that woman goes off, she gets married, has a family, you know. Some people you know, anything can happen. It's life. But yeah, and these are just my thoughts. So this has been another episode of Unfiltered Perspectives, and I'm JayyRedd, and I'm signing out.